senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in awe. Keep with the web of creation your love, giving, receiving, as love shows us how. Wake now, my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now, compassion, give heed to the cry. Stranger and friend, praying and striving their hardship to end. Wake now, my conscience, with justice thy guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted a privileged place. God's love embraces the whole human race. Wake now, my vision of ministry clear. Brighten my pathway with radiance here. Mingle my calling with all who will share. Work toward a planet transformed by our care.
Welcome to our worship service. Let's settle into our spaces, taking a deep breath in and out. As Unitarian Universalists, we believe we are all connected in this world, and we value the worth and dignity of each and every person. We pull on the wisdom of many sources to teach us, guide us, and help us understand the world. As we prepare our hearts for worship this morning, let us remember our connections through our collective chalice lighting words. Please join me. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek and seek to share. Our opening words are from our hymnal number 428 by May Sarton. Come out of the dark earth, here where the minerals glow in their stone cells, deeper than seed or birth. Come into the pure air above all heaviness of storm and cloud, into this light-possessed atmosphere. Come into, out of, under the earth, the water, the air. Love, touch us everywhere with primeval candor. Come, let us worship together. Please raise your voices and spirit in our opening hymn, Our World is One World.
Wash us round about, the clouds that cover
Good morning. And a lovely spring morning it is. Don't we love springtime in the beautiful Wenatchee Valley? Spring is such a time of hope and promise, of optimism and positive intentions. I invite you to harness those feelings and send them our way to Cascade UU Fellowship in the form of a pledge of your financial support. What could be more positive than Unitarian Universalism with its message of inclusivity and love and care? The joy and hope of spring is often expressed through ambitious house cleaning projects, planting gardens, getting outdoors, and exploring new trails and viewpoints. Let's channel some of our positive springtime energy into a resolve to sit down later today or this week to fill out your pledge form, if you haven't done it already, to let the Cuff Board know how much you hope to contribute to our fellowship in the coming fiscal year. As of last Wednesday, we had nearly $75,000 in pledges from 32 households. This is 37% toward our budget goal of just under $202,000. We need that money to pay our staff, a new interim minister, utilities, our mortgage, taxes, dues, etc., all reasonable expenses that keep Cuff a vibrant force for good, a source of inspiration and encouragement in our region. This year's stewardship or pledge campaign finishes up this week on Friday, the 23rd. Keep in mind that your pledge is for yearly operational expenses for the fiscal year beginning in July. We've already conducted a separate capital campaign for our new building, which will be constructed on our next door north lot in the near future. I'm excited for that new building, for sure. In the meantime, I'm enlivened by just being part of CUUF along with all of you. I hope you share my joy and will demonstrate your support of our liberal religious voice in the Valley by making a financial pledge. Just go to the website, cascadeuu.org, and click on Donate at the upper right. Thank you.
I'm taking my segment today to talk about Confucianism and Taoism and how they play into the subject at hand. These two traditions are about 2,500 years old. And throughout this time, they have bled into each other. They are not at all times distinct beliefs, and we'll see why. Many share the same ideas, and there are also disagreements on how to live out these ideas. So if we can pull from the past and look at the wisdom therein, we can use it to look at more contemporary problems. But first, it's pertinent to understand or talk about the Tao. And the Tao is this assertion of the now and the path, the way, these incomprehensible forces that make life what it is. To speak more to the point, a river doesn't move just left and just right. It meanders. And this is the way to contemplate both the yin and the yang. On one hand, our contemporary problems are due to a lack of spontaneity, a lack of genuine feeling, and a lack of knowing our own genuineness. And on the other hand, it's to know when to force the issue and to know when you can do so and when that's possible. However, something that isn't mentioned nearly enough in our culture is this wu wei, this not doing, and the power of not doing. In many cases, agitating the environment is an act of us doing or consuming something that necessitates the act of taking. So, us no longer participating in a certain waste that we participate in a certain consumption. Here is the wisdom of not doing, of Wu Wei. On the other hand, we have the wisdom of Confucianism, and this is the focus on social doctrine. What can I do to assist in the well-being of society? This is the ultimate goal, the well-being of humanity and the well-being of the social network of human beings. What can I give to assist this? What can I give up to assist this? When can I stand out of the way with my own personal desires and expectations? So on one hand, we have this focus on what can I do to participate to make better society? And on the other hand, we have Taoism, whereas what can I do to improve myself? How can I be better? How can I make myself not need such wasteful things, not participate in these destructive ways, not to condone or perpetuate these things? So, to answer this dilemma, it is a mix of both ethic, personal ethic, and social responsibility, knowing when to do something and knowing when to do nothing. I'll leave you with two quotes. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. And mastering others is strength, but mastering yourself is true power.
I invite you into a time of meditation. Settle into your seat. Take a deep breath in and out. Plant your feet firmly on the floor. And if you so choose, close your eyes. Our meditation words are from John Ruskin. There is religion in everything around us, a calm and holy religion in the unbreathing things in nature. It is a meek and blessed influence, stealing in, as it were, unaware upon the heart. It comes quickly and without excitement. It has no terror, no gloom. It does not rouse up the passions. It is untrammeled by creeds. It is written on the arched sky. It looks out from every star. It is on the sailing cloud and in the invisible wind. It is among the hills and valleys of the earth where the shrubless mountaintop pierces the thin atmosphere of eternal winter, or where the mighty forest fluctuates before the strong wind with its dark waves of green foliage. It is spread out like a legible language upon the broad face of an unsleeping ocean. It is the poetry of nature. It is that which uplifts the spirit within us and which opens to our imagination a world of spiritual beauty and holiness. Let us take a moment to pause and be still.
music all around, in the fleeting moments that are lost but can be found. In the corners of awareness, there are hymns that can sustain us. Can you help me find that subtle, sacred sound? And in the bright dawn colors splashed across the sky, in the warmth of friendship when it's cold and damp outside, in the little acts of service that remind us of our purpose, can you help me find that subtle, sacred sound? And in the hazy night, there are stars shining bright, far above the clouds in the sky. And in the long, hard fight, there is hope for new life, for peace and justice spread far and wide. And when it all falls down, we find our way to the ground and rise up singing a new kind of song. Can you help me open to the music all around, in the fleeting moments that are lost but can be found? In the corners of awareness, there are hymns that can sustain us. Can you help me find that subtle, sacred sound? Do a little bit of call and response now. You're invited to sing along if you'd like. It goes like, oh, 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 oh. It sounds like, it sounds like silence. It sounds like rain. Can you help me open to the music all around, in the fleeting moments right now? In the corners of awareness, there are hymns that can sustain us. Can you help me find that subtle, sacred sound? Can you help me find that subtle, sacred sound?
Recently, my family decided to take down our elaborate bird feeding setup because there's a salmonella virus outbreak throughout the western region being transmitted by bird feeders. This outbreak is killing songbirds, which in turn is infecting the other animals that may feed on birds. As I read the materials about the outbreak, I quickly realized feeding the birds was really more about my enjoyment than it was to help them remain fed. The articles reminded people there were plenty of natural resources for the birds to find nourishment. I was heartbroken a bit because I no longer heard the birds outside my window in the morning. However, as spring continues to unfold and flowers continue to bloom, of course, the birds are finding nourishment in the natural surrounding, and I can still hear them sing their beautiful songs. How many times have we as humans come up with a solution to what we perceive as a problem with nature, only to realize that for the health of the natural world and the sustainability of it, that solution was not really needed? Jay McDaniel, in his essay, The Tao of Sustainability, reminds us we are constantly being called to learn and live within the limits of the earth. He suggests it is our responsibility and duty to work towards maintaining the harmony of the natural world. He turns to Taoism and process theology as a way to help us live into this value. Taoism, as Connor suggested earlier, is a way of maintaining harmony with the earth and the relationships in our lives. What is important to know about process theology is it is based on the following principles. God is expansive and can be called God, mystery, nature, love, or something greater than ourselves, or any word that works for you. For simplicity's sake, today I will be using the term God. God encompasses all experiences, past and present, but not future. So that's key. Remember that. God encompasses all experiences, past and present, but not future. God lures us or calls us to be co-creators in the world. The lure or call is to create more love, beauty, and justice in our world. We are constantly being presented with choices in how we can answer that call. And finally, harmony, as Jay McDaniel describes for process thinkers, is not sameness. And it is not static. It is a harmony that is fluid and evolving over time. It includes a healthy dose of novelty and creativity with dissonance as well as consonance. It's a kind of non-violent togetherness. Think about singing in a choir. Choirs have different parts to create harmonies, and those harmonies come together in the beauty of a song. By putting Taoism and process theology together and defining our responsibility and duty to the sustainability of the earth, Jay McDaniel gives us an active way to participate in this goal. By being co-creators in the world, we are called into a relationship of participation and partnership with each other and our natural surroundings that helps us shape and vision sustainable communities. What is our part in this co-creation of sustainable communities? What can we do to help sustain harmony and maintain the Tao? We have to first understand sustainable communities are those that are able to exist into the indefinite future, and those communities also help to sustain us. The sustainability for the earth comes from the delicate balance of maintaining the limits of what pollution can be absorbed and what resources can be replenished. We are sustained by not only the material resources created by the natural world, but also the joy, beauty, and pleasure of the natural world. How many of you find your connection to the holy or mystery through the natural world? Whether it be exploring or witnessing the world around you or through gardening and tending the earth, we are sustained by that connection just as much as we are sustained by the material resources. It inspires our music, art, stories, imagination, and creativity. To be active co-creators in this process, we have to experience this sustenance and encourage others as well. It needs to be brought into our education systems, lifestyles, public policy. Can you imagine how public policy would change if the policymakers were asked to go for a walk in nature before they created any policy? Or how children would write stories or imagine possibilities if they were taken on a walk before having to write an essay? This is part of the harmony, recognizing the beauty of the world around us and being inspired by it. Alfred North Whitehead, founder of Process Thought, reminds us we need the harmony of science and art to understand our parts in co-creation. Whitehead argued that we learn something about sunsets from quantum theory, and we learn something about them from poetry. He further suggests people must be given opportunities for feeling the beauty of the planet as well as attending to its patterns. I find this way of answering the call of responsibility to our earth very liberating. It is not the should list. I should do this or that, or just work down a list of behaviors to change. Instead, it invites me into a different relationship. It encourages me to appreciate the beauty of the world. And when I appreciate the beauty, I want to learn more about it. When I learn more about it, then I realize the changes I need to make to sustain that beauty, which then results in me being a co-creator and sustaining the harmony of the natural world. So many of our challenges in ecological thinking start from a place of limiting behavior or a list of changes that should be made without providing the foundation of appreciating the beauty of the world. When my front yard is in bloom in the summer, I can witness the sustainability of harmony on a regular basis. The plants provide nourishment for the bees, insects, and birds. The bees, insects, and birds provide sustenance for the plants as well as the predatory animals or birds. I contribute by providing water, removing dead plants, and keeping the area free of pollution. In return, I get to enjoy the beauty of it each and every day. When we embrace the Tao of sustainability, we find ourselves in a dance with nature. We observe and listen, then respond with creativity to answer the call nature has issued us. Where we have to be intentional is letting nature guide us in our solutions, as well as working within the limits Earth provides us. We humans are quite a bunch. We have so much creativity and ideas for solutions sometimes. However, we need to learn to listen and understand when our solutions are really needed. May we each explore and appreciate the natural world around us. May it inspire us to learn, create, and respond in ways that maintain harmony and can be sustained into the future. May it be so, my friends. Our prayer today is from our hymnal number 553 by Nancy Wood. Let us pray. Earth, cure me. Earth, receive my woe. Rock, strengthen me. Rock, receive my weakness. Rain, wash my sadness away. Sun, make sweet my song. Sun, receive the anger from my heart. Amen. Please raise your spirit and voice in our closing hymn, Oneness of Everything.
Far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind, there find the key to nature's harmony in an architecture so entwined. Like the birds whose patterns grace the sky and carry all who join in love expanding, the message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings, in the oneness of everything. Peace is in the dance of trees, who stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Songs of lives long past the touch our own are written in the earth ever giving, and now to maintain the harmony gives to us all lives worth living, for the one to terms define. Vast and immeasurable time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years, just might I know the faith that winters in the heart to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing of the oneness of everything.
Our benediction is from our hymnal number 550 and our words attributed to Chief Seattle. This we know, the earth does not belong to us, we belong to the earth. This we know, all things are connected like the blood which unites one family. All things are connected. Whatever befalls the earth befalls the people of the earth. We did not weave the web of life. We are merely a strand in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. Love be with you. Please join in our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please raise your hands in the spirit of connection for our closing song.
Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again.
When I rise, I will rise like a bird, joyfully. And when I fall, I will fall like a leaf, gracefully. When I rise, I will rise like a bird, joyfully. And when I fall, I will fall like a leaf, gracefully. When I rise, I will rise like a bird, joyfully. And when I fall, I will fall like a leaf, gracefully. When I rise, I will rise like a bird, joyfully. And when I fall, I will fall like a leaf, gracefully.